Welcome, folks, to another edition of the MIAA's Winning Ways. We're here with some student athletes. We're here with half of October's student athlete of the month, and November, those two student athletes. I'm here with my friend Steve Dubzinski. Steve?
Yeah, welcome.
Yeah.
It's always one of our great things that we do here with Franklin TV, and we're happy for the partnership to introduce 3 more student athletes of the month. And just a quick refresher of the program. It's these 3 have been nominated by someone in their building, and many schools from across the Commonwealth nominate a couple student athletes each month. We get a list, and I explained in the last episode, for everywhere from Lee to Provincetown, Cape and the Islands, out west, and everything in between. So these should be, this is the cream of the crop in the state of
And you had
Massachusetts.
said in prior episodes, how many high schools does that represent?
Yeah, about 380.
Yeah.
And it ranges, right? From urban schools to rural schools, charter schools, vocational schools, Catholic schools across the state. So it's a great honor for us to be here today to be able to honor these 3.
Absolutely. We're very fortunate to have you folks here. We're going to have you introduce yourself. We're going to start with Emily.
Because chivalry is not dead.
No.
That's why. That's why.
My name is Emily Ann. I'm a soccer player. I'm on the swim team, and I am also a rugby player.
How long have you played rugby? Sorry.
Last 2 years.
Up and coming sport.
Do you enjoy it?
Very much.
My brother coached it at the high school level for years. Won 4 state titles in Connecticut.
Oh my goodness.
First year, though, he only went against 2 other teams. So
Well,
the state championships
small,
was an
but it's-
afternoon.
especially in girls rugby,
Yeah.
there's way fewer teams
Yeah.
out there.
Awesome.
Samuel.
My name's Sam Phelps. I'm from St. Mary's in Lynn. I play football and basketball.
My name's Jack Shapiro. I go to Boston Latin Academy, and I play football and baseball.
And I just want to say, because we got sent an article, it's Boston Latin Academy.
Yes, Latin
Okay.
Academy, yeah.
Correct. You're
Yes.
not the...
Not Latin school,
You
yes.
got it. Okay.
Yes.
Well, I want to make a point of that.
Yeah.
Because
I appreciate
I
that.
read the
I
article.
appreciate
and
that.
that was the headline.
Yes, yes.
Okay. So,
Who nominated each of you, and what's your relationship to them? We'll go with you, Emily, you're the woman.
My athletic director, Tom Maria, nominated me.
and I have to tell you, I spoke to Tom, as you know, I call and do the double check to make sure. He raved about you and all that you've done, not just, and we'll probably get into a little bit further, but there was an injury and stayed with it. He said, complete leader on the team, trying to get her back in the pool to compete this year. And so he was raving about you. So congratulations. I know we'll delve into that a little bit more.
Thank you.
Jack?
Miss Manchester, our athletic director, she also coaches basketball for us, too. I've been lucky to get to know her well over the last couple of years, and I appreciate her honoring me.
Great.
Jeff Newhall. My family is close with the Newhalls, Lynn family. So yeah.
Great. And Mr. Newhall, a wonderful, wonderful leader.
Yeah.
On the,
Yeah.
The court's named after Mr. Newhall.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Great.
Now, these people, obviously, went through whatever vetting process, that big word, vetting, thank you. Whatever process you go through at your various schools. Did you know that you folks were being considered for this award, or your name had been submitted, or was it news to you when you were told you had won it?
Yeah, I definitely did not know. It's actually a funny story in the way Miss Manchester told me, but we're not allowed to use our phones at school, like during the school hours. So she saw me in the hallway actually, and she called me into her office, and she said, "For this one time, you can use your phone." She said, "There's an important email you should probably read," and it was from Mr. Dubzinski, and it said, "Congratulations for being named Student Athlete of the Month in November," and that's how I found out with her. So it was awesome. And she told me she had nominated me, so it was a pretty cool way to find out.
Oh, that's neat.
And I commend them for not using their phones during
So do I.
It's,
So do I.
I also don't have my phone during the school day. We have Yonder pouches, so it's pretty high security. But I found out when I was...
Hold
For
on.
those people that don't know what the Yonder
Thank
pouch
you.
is, because I
That's
know you
what's
did.
gonna be
I should have brought
It
mine.
might be the greatest invention in the history of mankind.
And what
It's
is
right
it?
beneath the
There's a good
wheel.
argument for that.
Right
yes.
beneath the wheel in
What-
electricity.
Wow. What
You
is it?
put your phone in this foamy pouch,
Yes.
and it locks. And I don't know how many
Yes.
locks there are at Cambridge Latin. probably you're going to argue not enough. And it's kind of this magnetic piece and you can't get
So you
access
can't
to
rip
your
it
phone.
open.
You can't rip it open. You can't do anything.
Wow.
Yeah,
Yes.
it's a great. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That's a whole nother show we'll do.
Yeah, that's.
I think we
Sponsored by
yeah.
the Yonder Pouch.
Wow. Okay. Okay. I'm sorry. Didn't mean to-
Don't apologize.
That just so
Don't
threw me off.
apologize.
Yeah.
So I didn't read the email. I found out I was just in the hallway during fourth period, and one of my teachers, who was my teacher a couple years ago, and coincidentally is like my favorite teacher, but totally
Yeah.
unrelated to athletics. And she was like, "Oh, congratulations!" And I was like, "On on what?" And then at swim practice later, after I checked my email without talking to me about it, then my swim coach announced to the entire team to congratulate me, which was super, super not embarrassing and like not like, yeah. Anyways, that's how I found out.
Great.
Wow. Good
From a teacher.
experience for you.
Yes.
Yeah.
I knew I was nominated, but I didn't really think twice about it. I got the email. I think I saw $1,000. I think that was my first reaction to it.
Yeah. So
Spoken like a
Steve,
true 18-year-old.
absolutely.
Yeah, well, just so that everyone knows
Knows,
at home
yeah.
that the MIA Foundation puts forth $1,000 for every Student of the Month award winner, and then at the end of the year, there's another. I think it's $1,500 or $2,500 at the end of the year for the Student Athlete of the Year. But they get today some swag, their plaque, honored with
backpack.
The backpack. Everyone seems to be excited about
That's
the
the
backpack.
thing today. Yeah. The backpack.
And the check, which, just so that everyone knows, it goes towards next year's college education.
Wink.
Okay.
Yeah.
That was well timed.
Yeah.
We've been practicing.
Yeah. We spent too much time together.
Would you mind just talking about your athletic, so that everybody knows what you play and kind of the highlight of your year this year or in past years about playing for your school, if there was a big win or teammates, whatever it is. And we'll start with Mr. Shapiro.
Yeah, so this fall we won our conference championship, the City League, for the first time in I think a couple years, and we were undefeated in doing so, 5-0. So that was an awesome accomplishment. We've had a lot of guys. I think we had 17 seniors, so a lot of guys that have stuck with it for a long time. And to be able to come together this year, we got close last year, but to do it this year and the way we did it was pretty cool. And as you mentioned before, we beat Latin School for the second year in a row, so that one is always special to us as people in the city know how that rivalry goes. So
That's
yes,
great.
Yeah.
That's great. We were just talking beforehand with some people that were here about the rivalry games, and those are
Yes.
the ones that stay with you. Right?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, those are
You
the big
could-
ones for us. Yeah.
You could go 0 whatever. If you win the rivalry one, it's
we do say you can go 1-9 if you beat BLS. That's an exceptional season for
Yeah.
us. So
Yeah.
so yeah, so we
and
do
just so that
understand
you know,
that.
this video will be showed pregame at BLS next year. Okay. So.
For me, it would be we lost in the first round of states against the number 2 seed Bishop Fien, but it was a really good highlight because as a program, 2 years ago we were ranked, or we made a 500 record, so we had a play-in into the state tournament, but we haven't ever been in the state tournament other than that as a program. And so this is a really big accomplishment and achievement, and so definitely a highlight. And also we only lost 1-0. It was a really good game. Yeah. And then can I add one more?
Your show. It's
And
your
then
show.
I said that for my team, but a personal highlight would be we were playing the other Latin. Being
The worst one.
yeah.
Can we agree? The worst one.
Yeah, the worst.
I know.
It's very tricky.
This is.
Boston Latin School, and they've been forever a team that we can just never beat, and a really strong rival for us. And I'd scored a hat trick in the previous game, and I scored another hat trick against them. And unfortunately, we played them again 2 games later, and that's when I sustained my injury. So that is my final highlight. So
Okay.
That's awesome.
it's important
Would
to
you
me.
mind just talking about your injury a little bit so everybody, I know what it is, but if you want to just.
Not at
enlighten
all. So 5 games into my season, scored 9 goals at that time. In 4 games.
Yeah.
I sustained a tear to my lateral meniscus in my right leg, which meant I had to get surgery. I got surgery October 2nd. I'm now 9 weeks out in my recovery process. I'm still hoping to hit the swimming pool. I've been swimming during practice. I haven't unlocked any strokes other than freestyle, but I'm doing it. And yes, it was devastating. I sustained the injury against Boston Latin School the second time we played them pretty early in the game. At the time when it happened, I just hopped off the field.
Yeah.
It was like, okay, like I didn't think
Right.
anything of it. It was pretty devastating, you know, especially with the team this year going into the state tournament and not really wishing I could have been a part of that team on the field. But so it was really devastating. But I found myself finding a very, very fulfilling experiences in not being able to be on the team, but figuring out how to be a supportive captain, taking a step back, noticing that as captains when we were all playing on the field, we were kind of leaving out injured reserves, players who had sustained other injuries and weren't coming to practice as much, and so it was a really good experience for me.
And I wanted to bring that up because Mr. Aria said to me she was at every practice, at every game. She was
It's
an
true.
unbelievable captain.
It was ridiculous.
time to-
For a while, I had this kitchen pot that was the perfect dimension to lift up my leg. So you would see me at practice or a game just sitting with my kitchen pot, and it was
Another
like
sponsor
the
of the
joke
show.
of the season.
Wow. That's fantastic.
Joke of the season.
All right, highlight for you.
So my dad is one of the coaches, right? So I've always been around him, and like it's always been a dream to play with my younger brother Luke. So that got to come true the first 2 games of the season, but in April he broke his collarbone. Did the recovery process, was fine. In the 3rd week he broke it again. So
Same one.
Oh,
Same one.
jeez.
So we thought that he was going to be out for the year, but then he actually ended up coming back the last game of the year, I think. So I think that was definitely very encouraging for me. to see
Great.
that.
Great.
What does your dad coach? Is he
Football.
the head coach?
So the assistant head coach, and there's
Okay.
also the head of math at the school.
Wow. How does that work?
You
You
get to
should
see
say
all,
well.
you get to see all 3 sides of him.
Yeah.
3 different, completely different people.
Yeah.
I will say.
Sometimes you drive home with him. Sometimes you walk
Yeah.
home from practice.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Wow. That's going to add an interesting dynamic, but also a tremendous memory,
Yeah.
which I think you realize as you get older.
Yeah. And my mom's also the guidance counselor, so everyone's all the same.
Perfect.
place.
Wow, this is unbelievable.
I know. We did mention in a prior show, don't forget to thank the people that drove you here. Okay? Because if not, you might be spending the day here. Tell us about your teammates and how they supported you and their reaction when they found out you folks won this award.
I'd say they were very
Congratulatory. Sure.
Yeah, congratulatory.
I know where you were going.
But their first reaction was the same as mine. They saw $1,000.
Yeah.
We're like, you taking us out? Yeah, but,
That's the first thing I see, too,
Yeah.
when Steve lets
but
me know.
yeah, they were all very proud, very energetic for me.
Awesome.
You're not getting $1,000.
I didn't tell a lot of my teammates about it. I mean, other than the entire
The
swim team.
swimming announcer.
But I didn't talk to many of my soccer teammates about it, just the closest ones, but they definitely celebrated with me. I celebrated a lot with my guidance counselor and Mr. Aria. We
Yeah.
had it was just really wonderful. So
I've gotten to know him very well in the last couple of years. You know, he's the president of the board at the MIA, so he's very involved. So
Oh, he
we were
is.
very happy to be able to honor you.
Like Emily, I'm not sure how many of my teammates know at this point. Not a lot, but I'm sure, especially in football, I think I consider those guys my brothers. Every single play we talk about all 11 guys playing together. So I'm sure we just our all conference team just came out, and so there were 7 of us on it. So I'm sure everyone's sort of proud of that right now, and I am too, and for the other 6 guys, and I think they would be incredibly proud for me as I am for them for being on that team, and all of our other guys got to be a part of the city championship. So
Great. I want to stay with Jack. What else? What other activities in school do you do? Because part of this award is academics, athletics, and then community service or school involvement. So what else do you do? What occupies your time? 'Cause
Yeah, so-
what usually happens is I don't know how the winners sleep because they're involved in so many
I know.
activities that it's nuts.
Yeah, so in school, I'm a part of National Honor Society. I'm also a part of the Best Buddies chapter at our school too, and I've done some like tutoring and teacher's assistant stuff here and there. I used to play hockey, but I don't play a winter sport anymore. And my older brother played basketball, and I got to know our basketball coach very well. Coach Bunker and Miss Manchester also coached basketball. So I'm the manager. I operate the scoreboard for the home basketball games. And then outside.
Do you do it accurately?
I
Or if
would
you're
like
winning,
to-
does it start early in the inbound
I
pass?
might have some sticky fingers
Okay,
sometimes,
all
yeah,
right.
but
I will tell you as a referee.
oh,
The last 2 nights I've had games, and the only thing I say to the scorekeeper, all we care about is you hit that green button.
yes,
If
they
you're
like the
slow
clock to
on the
run.
stop
Yes,
button,
yeah.
that's okay. We're fine.
Yes, yes. And then outside of school, I've been a part of Special Olympics in Brookline for 5 years, and I coach flag football and basketball in Special Olympics.
I'm not sure there's a better event in the state of Massachusetts than Unified Sports Special
Yes.
Olympics.
Yes.
Best Buddies program. I think it's so. Congrats for being involved
Yeah,
in that.
that's great.
Just a fantastic program. I just want to ask, when did you stop playing hockey?
8th grade.
Okay, because for those people who only see him sitting down, how tall are you?
6'2" or 6'3",
Okay,
yeah.
about
Yeah.
6'4". And
Yeah.
on skates,
Yeah,
now we've got
I know.
Zdeno.
I was
Well,
just gonna say,
okay,
yeah.
so yeah. Involved in other activities at Cambridge?
In school, I'm also a part of my National Honor Society. I'm a senior representative. I am also a leader of an a cappella group. We have a performance
Awesome.
tomorrow night. If you guys
We'll
don't
have
have
a
any
performance
plans.
shortly. Now that you've opened the door.
Oh no. I'm a peer mentor, which it's pretty dynamic. There's a bunch of different stuff I do, but we have kind of homerooms, Falcon blocks. It's like just every week, freshmen or just little cohorts that come together, and I have like a freshman cohort that I just see every week and mentor them. And I've also done like peer mentor stuff as well in terms of incoming 9th graders coming in. My biggest non-sport activity is at my school, and this is something that Mr. Rhea has definitely spoken on and on about, is at CRLS we've done a lot of work with consent curriculum, especially consent curriculum for student athletes. And since sophomore year, I've been a co-creator and a facilitator and an organizer of the consent curriculum at CRLS. So we give a consent workshop, it's like Consent 101, to all freshmen every year. So I train facilitators for that and facilitate the workshop. And then I also co-created a workshop that's specifically for captains. It's next week for winter, if you guys are free.
I can't. Jay and I are in an acapella group.
We're performing that day. Sorry.
So yes, and then we've also done workshops for entire sports teams. So it's been a big part of the work that I've done in terms of service and yes, and then outside of school, I'm a lifeguard and I am a swim teacher. I teach little kids swimming, and I'm a soccer coach. Yeah.
Busy is the word.
Busy.
Yeah.
Oh
Busy.
yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Sam?
I'm also part of National Honor Society. My school is starting up a Best Buddies program in the next couple months, so I'm co-founder of that. And then for volunteering, peer tutoring is a big thing at my school.
Yeah.
This is the academic center, it's called. So like people who like struggle with grades, they go in there, whatever. We help mentor them a little bit. I'd say the biggest volunteer opportunity that I've done though is in August. I went up to Casco, Maine to Camp Sunshine. So it's a campground that's like designed for people who have disabilities, but like my group was organ transplants, so like heart transplants, liver transplants, that kind of stuff. So like you stay up there with them, you play games with them, you play sports, all these activities, and it's just a good time.
Congratulations. I mean, what
That's
you guys,
amazing.
it's
Yeah.
unbelievable. You know?
Boy, I've done nothing in my life. That's awesome. These outside activities, a cappella, all that stuff, do you want to continue that when you move on, if you move on education-wise, go to college or whatever you want to do? Do you want to incorporate any of that in your future?
I would say, of course, I want to be a coach after college. So I think I always tell people, I think, something that helped me find the love of that was coaching Special Olympics for the last 5 years or so. So to stay with that, for sure would be something I would love to do. And yeah, that's, I always, flag football, we have practice on Thursday nights, and obviously we play football games on Friday. So especially before big games, like to be there the night before, sort of take my mind off it, is something I always look forward to on Thursday nights. So
That's great.
Yeah.
Sam?
Can you repeat the question again? Sorry.
Yeah, that means I have to remember it. The extra activities you're
yeah.
involved with, like being a co-founder of Best Buddies, things like
Yeah.
that outside involvement, do you want to continue somehow being involved with that as you move forward?
Yeah, for sure. I'd say it's definitely very rewarding, being able to give back. I have 4 younger siblings, so like even being able to like coach sometimes like their teams, it's definitely something that brings great joy in my life.
You're the oldest.
Yes. I am.
And is Dad at home, Dad, Coach, or
Dad.
Sir?
Dad.
Okay.
Depends.
Yes, it does
Mister.
depend. On how-
Mister.
Yeah.
I definitely would also do some coaching, looking forward, especially since my parents were my first coaches. So I would definitely, not even just for my kid, but do that for anyone's kid. And I don't know, a cappella groups get pretty competitive in high school. In college. So.
Oh, we know.
Yeah,
We know.
Okay. That
So-
Pitch Perfect or whatever.
I was
it
gonna
after
reference
us.
that.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh,
There
that
was
was
an
you?
extra.
Yeah.
There was an
Okay.
extra. Yeah.
Okay. And in terms of
Anytime you can bring Pitch Perfect into the show,
Thank
I
you.
think you've done a
Thank
nice
you.
job.
So they're talking about working with people with transplants, National Honor Society. Me, I refer to a movie. So,
and then in terms of my work facilitating, consent curriculum has meant a lot to me as a female.
Can you just touch upon it? Because I'm not sure if people watching know. I know what it is.
Yes,
but
of
because
course.
Mr. Rio, sure. No, Tommy's. It's very important to Tom.
Well, consent has many connotations. In its most general term, consent is about boundaries and agreement to engage in anything. And so when you're growing up, that has that like boundaries connotation. When you go into high school, you go into more like relationships and sexual connotations. And then in the context of sports teams, you see, when you think about stereotypes, not just for male-dominated sports teams, also female-dominated sports teams, but you can have sports teams are an easy place for a culture of what we call rape culture to kind of manifest itself. And rape culture is essentially a set of attitudes and beliefs that normalize sexual violence. So like hazing, if hazing rituals involve in some way like just harmful dynamics between the seniors and the freshmen, or if hazing practices and locker room talking language is misogynistic, talks about women in bad ways, that's what we would call an example of a rape culture behavior. And so especially on sports teams, where I said like we can see it manifesting itself because you have a lot of unmonitored spaces, like when coaches aren't there, and also a lot of, when you talk about what is a good team, they have team chemistry, and something that makes team chemistry is team culture, team traditions. But when you have traditions that normalize sexual violence, which happens a lot, has happened a lot in the past and still happens today, it's really dangerous. And so I'm clearly have put a lot of my heart into this, and my life and belief in consent culture, which is rejecting attitudes and beliefs that normalize sexual violence. And so I will definitely continue in college to do that, yes.
let me ask you, that program, and this is the first I'm hearing of it, which is not surprising, but was that already established at your school? Or
Yes.
Okay, so
Yes.
you came into this program that was already existed, but it really piqued your interest?
Yes, and it's definitely evolved in the past few years. So in 2021, which was my 8th grade year, our school had a walkout for sexual assault. And part of it was to address that we didn't have a district coordinator for sexual violence. And like that's someone who processes reports of sexual violence, and it's against the law to not have a sexual violence coordinator. And so the student group emerged from it. Sorry, this is like totally a long explanation. But student group emerged. They're called TIA, Title IX Aurelia Advocates, named after a specific family who had trials of sexual violence within the Greater Boston community. And the student group called out Cambridge and was like, this is against the law. And so they fought actually to get us a sexual violence coordinator. So did serious legal work. And that was like first generation, and then implemented the 9th grade workshops. Again, sorry, this is so long. And they also implemented the athlete workshops. And then it's been dynamic and evolving since then. My sophomore year, we had athlete workshops every season, but then student athletes were like, I've heard this workshop 6 times,
Right,
and I'm
right,
like,
right, right.
and I'm like, you're right. So it's evolved, and that's why we have the captain workshop. So it's really been a story about students advocating for themselves. And that's where it originated
I think
from.
one of the highlights, and I don't mean to cut you off, one of the highlights, I think, is that our student athletes here are involved and are leaders in the building.
Yeah.
You know, Hingham High School has started. They've come to speak and trained. They do a huge they have a captain's council. I think that Jim Quatch, one of the athletic
Yes.
director, puts together. So, you know, and so that's, I guess, leading to my next question of, do you see yourself as the leaders around the building? You know, I know, or what, you know, as a senior and freshmen look up to you. I know you have younger siblings that you spoke about that you got to play with, or you as, you know, being the big man literally on campus. So do you see yourself in that role, or has it evolved growing, you know?
Yeah, I think our school's kind of interesting. We have 7th and 8th graders. Like I started at Latin Academy as a 7th grader, so we have kids that are still in middle school, you know, in the same building as us, and on our football team too.
Right.
So like I was in 8th grade on the football team once too, you know, and I looked up to, you know, my older brother and, you know, all those guys. We went to the state tournament, you know, twice. I think that was the last team to win the city title was when I was in 8th grade, you know. So I looked up to those guys, you know, as they were, you know, and they were incredible leaders, you know. So to be sort of that role model for those next, you know, cycle of kids, and understanding that it's not only just freshmen, you know, you've got 7th, 8th graders in there too. And I think football is it gives you an incredible, you know, opportunity to lead, you know, and be a driving force and, you know, setting the example for our younger guys, you know, in school, outside of school, you know, and I get to, you know, I feel like it's important to, you know, I see them in the hallways, you know, I see them in the lunchroom, you know, to be there for them, you know, to build that
look up to you,
relationship.
right? I mean, you must be
Well,
the
they
hero,
have to.
right? Right.
Well, they do, yeah.
Unless
You
they
don't have
use
a
the
choice.
pot that she
Yeah.
stood on that. That's where it's all
a good
coming.
point.
It's all coming
Yeah,
back.
yeah.
Yourself? You see yourself in that role?
Yeah, so I started in 6th grade at St. Mary's, so it's middle school, high school. My freshman year, we won the state championship, so being able to see those guys lead and, like, you know, you'd make, like, jokes with them, oh, you're so good, and then, like, so...
Now it's you, right?
Yeah, exactly. So
Yeah.
you get to see all the little kids, you know, giving you high fives and stuff, so it's definitely very fulfilling.
Yeah,
Full
great.
circle moment.
I'd say yes as well. And I mean, my high school is only 9th grade through 12th, but I definitely see a lot of the similar things. I'd say for rugby especially, because a lot of the younger girls are like, what?
Yeah.
I'm
Right.
sorry, you do what?
Right.
And it's just funny to see them be like, okay, and then like smash themselves against like a senior who's like 5'10",
Yeah.
really fun. And in soccer as well, especially since the program's getting more competitive. Like I grew up being so scared of the fitness requirements to like make varsity. It was like 25 push-ups, something. Now it's like more, but yes, definitely on soccer now there's such a culture of like the 8th graders being like, oh my God, and I love that.
Great.
What going forward? Do you have anything planned? Are you going to school? Are you still deciding? Where do you folks stand on all of that?
We'll start with Shapiro because I know the answer.
Okay.
That's great.
Yeah, thanks.
I'm going to Denison University in Ohio to play baseball, actually, which we haven't talked much about. But, Yes.
Awesome.
Let's talk about it. Let's,
What position?
I play center field and I pitch.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's like having Randy Johnson.
Yeah.
For the older folks.
Yeah, just don't hit a bird
All right. Good
when
point.
you're pitching. Emily?
I didn't go through the recruitment process for athletics because I had a pretty specific academic kind of interest. But I would like to go to a four-year college somewhere in New England. If I went to some type of NESCAC school, I would definitely get in contact with the coach.
Middlebury guy here.
Oh, that's
Let me know.
yeah.
I'm also looking to go to college. I got a letter of assurance from Coast Guards, like you don't have to go
Good for
through
you.
the government
Right.
interviews and stuff like that. Looking at NESCAC, mostly New England overall.
Good. Congrats.
Coast Guard, I had a good friend
Yeah.
that went there. He's still, at age 64, he's still involved. He's down in Washington with the Coast Guard
Yeah.
now. So,
So
That's
clearly
awesome.
baseball, we've talked football mostly, but baseball is first love or?
Yeah, first love.
Okay.
Baseball. Yeah, probably. Actually, I think there's a video somewhere, but like me on my knees before I could even walk, swing a baseball bat. So
Really?
baseball was definitely first love. My older brother played baseball. My dad, uncles, cousins, stuff like that. A lot of baseball in the family. So growing up, and I played flag football. I finally convinced Mom in 8th grade to let me play tackle football. My
yeah.
dad played football in college, so he always wanted to see one of either me or my brother play football, and it looked like it wasn't going to happen for a little bit, but
You wore
I
her
decided
down. You
I
wore her
wore her
down.
down, and
Yeah.
I decided. My older brother then joined me the next year, and he played his junior and senior
I'm
year
going to
also.
venture to guess, and I don't know this, but probably your biggest fan grew to be Mom. Was she okay with it?
Yes,
Okay,
she was
especially
okay
with
it.
the big victory.
Yes,
Yeah,
yeah. There's
so-
probably some times where I went
Yes.
down that she holds her breath a little bit, but yeah, she definitely she came to love it, and she always, regardless, she was going to be there supporting me and my dad too, and I'm always appreciative of that. So
And the basketball season starts tonight. I know this show's going to air a little bit later, but you got your opener tonight. Are we excited about the year?
Really excited. New coach, couple new transfers, so guys seem to be merging well into the new system. Should be a very exciting year, very tough schedule. Springfield Central's on there, Pope Francis, Xaverian, a bunch of really good teams, but we'll see if we're up for the challenge.
Let's go get it.
Yep.
Right. And the pool, you're in.
Yes, I'm in. I don't have I'm doing my PT. Yesterday I went on the zero gravity treadmill, which if you ever, are looking for something fun to do and happen to have a torn meniscus, you should totally do it. It's a really surreal experience, just to use that word again.
Thank you.
Yes. But yes, so I don't have a date for competing. I might just end up having to swim the 500 every meet this year because it doesn't require me. I wouldn't have to do a full
How
sprint.
many laps?
That is, oh goodness, it's 10 laps.
10.
It's
yeah.
10 laps.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there you have it.
Have any of you guys ever swam before, like competitively or been in
No,
a-
God, no.
It is.
Yeah.
It is one of the most
I agree with
brutal.
Sam. Yeah, no.
It's brutal.
It's
a
pretty
workout.
tough.
Let's
Yeah,
just it is.
is.
And distance,
Right.
oh my God.
No,
Right.
thank you.
The
Right.
200 yard anything is kind of like the 800 in like a track event, so worst.
Yeah.
And the 500 is just worse because you have to sprint the whole time. Anyways.
Well, why would you swim when you can drive? That's my philosophy
Okay.
on everything. Why would you
many
walk
a
when you
swimmer
could
have
drive?
asked themselves that
Yeah.
question.
Yeah. Or
they
they make these things that you put on your
Right,
feet
right,
that help. when
Yeah,
you
yeah.
swim. Just an idea
Okay.
moving forward.
right. Some of them have anxiety about like the water. They just
Yeah.
That's why Jay doesn't swim.
Well,
Water
there's not enough
anxiety.
water
Water anxiety.
in the pool for me to get in. I do have one question for Emily. We had in a previous show, obviously, I'm sure the word has gotten around, a student athlete declare his run for governor. Do you have any interest in being in his administration?
I would.
Okay.
I mean, I don't know. I think my public policy and international aspirations are a little bit more global than that. So
wow.
that platform might be a little small for me, but
Okay.
Goodner,
it
not-
could
not
be a good
enough.
starting position.
And for those of you who don't know, we're all in the same room right now, so that's why we're enjoying the jokes much more
Yeah.
than probably people at home.
Than anybody is, yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. Do you have anything else you want to add? Anything else?
Anyone
as
you
we-
didn't mention or anyone that,
Yeah.
that comes to mind that you just
Thank
want
you to my parents again.
Okay.
And to my co-swim captain, Giacomo Zambotti, who feels very undervalued. And when I told him I got the award, he was like, "Are you serious?"
So you
But
offered
deserved.
To,
He's a swim captain and a soccer captain, and he
you
helped.
you offered to split the check.
I did.
Okay.
I did. No,
okay.
I said no way.
Yeah.
I said, "What do you want me to do about that?"
Yeah.
I said, "You'll get him next month." That's
Yeah.
what I told him.
Sam,
but-
anybody?
So there was a math teacher I had named Courtney Dignan. So I had him in middle school, I think 7th grade. And in 8th grade, he pushed me to go into like the 9th grade math. So since then, I think I took 2 maths my freshman year, geometry, and then algebra 2, and then pre-calc, AP pre-calc, AP calc, and then this year it's an advanced calculus class. So it's online every Sunday night, and then you do problems throughout the week. So it's supposed to be the AP Calc BC, but it's more advanced than that. So
Okay.
hopefully.
But Dad's a math. You said the head of the math department? Yep. Okay. So,
So
you've got that.
he came in this year. Mr. Dinger
Okay.
was before that.
All right. You enjoy math?
Yes.
You do.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. We enjoy a cappella.
Yeah, we do. Very much. so.
3-3 tied
Yeah.
up with surreal
Yeah.
now every time I can bring it up.
I would just say another, thank you to our coaching staff and football and baseball, Miss Manchester. I think I already mentioned my teammates before, but, and I would say again in football and baseball, we can consider each other brothers and, teammates, and those are guys you'll have as your best friends for life, So I always appreciate, how much those guys mean to me and, the impact we make on each other and hope it long lasting. And I'll go one more to Tan Chow, he's played since 7th grade in football, so we played 5 years together. He plays receiver, so quarterback to receiver. That's always sort of been our connection. We call him the money man because of his hand, so we'll give a little shout out to him.
That's
But
awesome.
today,
Your money.
you're the
man.
money.
Yeah.
And I would just like to shout out Mr. Rio one more time.
Okay.
Because consent is such a buzz topic, and he has gone completely the other direction and just totally spearheaded it, and his support has been amazing.
Great.
I'd like to add Jeff Newhall because he did want me to split the check, and I said,
Yeah.
Yeah, he wanted you to split it 90-10, though. Okay, I know Newhall. Okay. And how'd you get here today?
Dad.
Okay, just
Dad.
wanted to bring that
Oh,
up because
yes.
we gave Mom a
Wow.
little shout out about, wearing her down to play. So, congrats.
Thank you.
I want to congratulate you guys.
Thank you.
I
Thank
enjoy
you.
the applications when I get them, and if you want the truth, we take them. So let's say we get 100, and now we narrow it down to 15, and then we narrow it down to 3, and then once you get to that final 3, I actually hand them to someone else and go, I can't pick it.
Yeah.
You're gonna have to. You're gonna
Yeah.
go because the people are off the chart. So
It-
we're
it-
really proud.
Yeah,
to be part
it's
of it.
clear through doing this show, doing the other show, that the student athletes are tremendous that are involved with this program and get the awards. Clearly, we're in good shape going forward, especially with our new governor. We're very happy
Oh, yeah.
about that.
And athletics is what drives this award, but it's so impressive to see it be. It's school-wide. It's
Right.
not. It's in the
Exactly.
classroom. It's other activities. It's
Yeah. Yeah.
gubernatorially speaking.
See, exactly.
Yes.
Well, thank you very much for making the trip here and coming to spend some time with us. We can, later on, we're going to have a show where we're going to read just the articles of Jack. He looks so
Angry.
serious.
Very angry in this picture.
We were down in the first half.
We're sick
so
of being the
that was
other
probably
Latin.
the first half.
So
Yeah.
it's a good headline.
The documentary airs next Tuesday on CNN.
Well, if you ever need any help on how to organize the ponchos or the jackets for the players, that was my expertise my 4 years in high school football. So I was very good at that.
Still are.
Thank you. Thank you. Again, thank you very much. Congratulations to all of you. Thank you to the parents. And that's going to wrap up another Winning Ways with the MIAA. For Steve, I'm Jay. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next time.
This program was made possible by your Franklin friends and neighbors. Good folks just like you. Thanks for supporting Franklin TV. And thanks for watching.